Are you live from Greyhawk?
Actually at Mirabelle, which is up on top of the mountain. We're just having a practice day.
Nice.
Cool. We'll get started. Welcome to Double Fries No Slaw. We are back for another pop-up episode. It's Tuesday evening, doing these back-to-back. We had Coach Almeida on last night. Now we've got Coach Jones on tonight, FSU golf head coach. Coach, thanks for taking some time. I see you out there on the course, like in the middle of practice. Thanks for breaking away and chatting with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you guys are out there for the NCAA championships. We followed the regional last week. Obviously, super exciting, and man, you guys put a hurting on the rest of the field and lapping them. Being at home is not the worst thing through that. But talk to us about that regional win last week.
It was great. There were a lot of great things about it. One was just the fact that a lot of dreams came true, a lot of hard work. The fact that we were able to host a regional on such a quality golf course and have it play out like it did. So just having the event there was one thing, but then to have the team play like they did was obviously made it an even better week.
Yeah, and Coach, I definitely want to get into what you guys have coming up, but were you and the team able to catch that Sunday action from Kiowa, the Ocean Course? Because that was, some of my friends were like, "Oh, that's kind of lame that they both struggled." I'm like, "No, that was amazing championship Sunday golf. Seeing two amazing players just go at it with a couple others mixed in."
Well, you have to understand that if they play a normal golf course, those guys shoot 62s, 3s, and 4s, and 4 rounds, it'd be 35 under, and just the difficulty of what they were sitting. I would tell you a scratch golfer would probably shoot about 84 or 85 out there.
Yeah.
On what they were dealing with. So it's just a different time of golf, but obviously when you have those guys, the best players in the world, 150 of them, you're going to get some really good golf, and that just shows you the difficulty of Kiowa Island. But we did not get to see it. We were actually on an airplane the entire time out here to Scottsdale.
Yeah, and I thought Brooks, I don't know how healthy he is. He couldn't bend over to line up his putts, but man, what a gutsy effort by him. Being a Florida State guy, I was obviously pulling for him hardcore. Just seeing how well he played, it seems like he did well. He said he didn't putt the ball well, but he made that 41-footer for eagle, made a couple other putts, but he didn't putt well for the whole tournament. But just watching Brooks, I know you said you didn't see him Sunday. Did you get to watch any of him, and have you talked to him since?
I've not talked to him. I'm letting him have a little space, which I would have advised Bryson to do the same thing, but I didn't. That's maybe I know him better than he does.
So Coach, you brought it up, so I have to go there. That was like I'd missed it last night. I'm an old man, probably at heart older than you. I go to bed early. I woke up this morning and I had a bunch of tags on Twitter and text, like, "Look at your boy Brooks." And I watched the video. I'm like, that's hilarious that he was that upset. You couldn't really hear if Bryson said anything or if it was just the metal cleats. But is that the Brooks to where he's just unfiltered, saying what he wants to say?
First of all, he said something. He's not going to react that way without.
He did, yeah, he definitely did.
I believe Bryson just said, Brooks was talking about he couldn't get a putt to go in, didn't putt well.
Yeah.
And Bryson's attitude was just started online, dude, or something. And once again, that's just something that Brooks would never do, because why walk by and offer something to an interview that you're not a part of? So I thought that was a little probably out of place. But the one thing is, too, where today's world gets a little different, is we all know that it's being taped, and Bryson knew that it's being taped, and it's probably thought it'd be funny because it just started over and it wasn't a big deal. Well, I'm sure they started over, but that part got out there too, didn't
it? Somebody was saying they need to be paired up in the next tourney soon.
Torrey Pines, yes.
Yeah.
Please make that happen, USGA.
When that happens, though, you'd be surprised. You could be paired with someone you really like, and there's still your daily routine on a golf course with one of your best friends to someone you don't like is the exact same, believe it or not.
True. Yeah.
They're not talking to each other out there. They have a job to do. And even if someone's playing terrible, they'll act the same way as someone's playing great. They'll never let anyone else influence how they do. So I know people make a really big deal about that. Oh man, you got to put those two together. Well, it's not like you're going to see them arguing with each other. They're not going to talk to each other no more than he would talk to Dustin Johnson or a Daniel Berger, who are his friends.
Sure. Looking back on the season, jumping back into you guys, looking back on the season, several huge wins, a lot of loaded fields, and then obviously dominating the Tallahassee Regional like you guys did. It was just announced that you guys would be the number 1 overall seed. Where's your team right now? Mentally, not physically, but where's your team right now with being optimistic, rebounding from a tough loss in the ACC and going in as the number 1 seed?
I think the loss in the ACC is what spurred on what I call the best 2 weeks of golf that Florida State has had since I've been here, from a preparation standpoint. We've had great leadership with our senior Grayson Porter and what he's done for us, and John Pack with Vincent Norman having the 3 seniors around, and then the other 3 guys are freshmen one way or another. 2 are true freshmen, and one's what we call a COVID freshman. But the way they've handled every day, from showing up on time to doing their work in the morning to going to eat as a team, it's just been unbelievable how close they are and how hard they've worked and how much they've pushed each other. So nothing's changed with that regard. So we were the number 2 team last week, number 1 team this week. That doesn't change anything. It's you can go back to that. No one thought Phil was going to win either, did they? So it's just about what you do that week.
Seminole Legacy got a lot of great publicity over the weekend from the likes of the Golf Channel, different places kind of recapping it. Pretty cool for our home course to get that notoriety. How does that help you? Or do you think that has a big impact in recruiting and talking with other people and things like that? Just kind of the showcase that was able to be seen.
It's definitely going to help in recruiting. Just when we can get them here to visit and sit down with them and show them what we have to offer. And to a person, every coach that came in here really was impressed with everything that we have. The players, potential become Florida State.
I think we may have had a bit of technical difficulty. I don't know if that was on my side, Richie, or whatever, but Harlan, if you can clean that a little bit. Coach, you still there with us? Give me a sec.
When you go live, you have stuff like this happen. But yeah, man, I actually know the guy personally who was like the project manager for helping with all the Seminole Legacy, and talking to him, it was awesome. I think we got Coach back. So, Coach, are you there?
Let me shoot him a text to jump out and back in, or maybe jump the.
Yeah, so we actually have some work for Harlan to do this week instead of just recording and uploading. But yeah, like I was saying, I talked to the guy who built it. I'm actually really good friends with his sister. And it was awesome just hearing him say, yeah, we had this vision given to us from Jack Nicklaus, like arguably the greatest golfer of all time, right there with Tiger Woods. And just talking about seeing his vision come to life and how great that course looked. And to see the Golf Channel and other places just kind of take that to a new level today. That, yeah, this is an elite Jack Nicklaus design. I can't wait to play it. I'm hoping to play it the weekend we are up there for Notre Dame, maybe that Saturday or early that Sunday morning. But I'm really excited to see it all come together.
I feel like Richie's going to pull out every connection and stop and just like every, bit of like goodwill that he has, like, everyone he knows, to get a chance to play on that course. And I'm probably going to do the same thing, to ride in the golf cart. And
if it's for free, I I have
and
no
drink
shame.
beers with you guys.
Here's what you learn about your casual weekend golfers like myself. You have no shame in trying to get free golf out of it because it adds up, man. Like some courses you can play for 20, 30 bucks. Most courses are 50 to 60. You want to play nice course, it's 100 plus. So every free round of golf adds up and it matters. And that's typically how it goes. You got to make those connections and take advantage when you can.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We're going to stay live. I'm going to put a background up and then mute our mics, but I'm going to put this up and we'll see if we can get Coach Jones back on, get him back connected. Might have just been and we will be right back with you. So give us 1 sec. Harlan can clean this up and we'll share it all again later. So don't end the broadcast though. All right, I think we got you back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, got it.
All right, good to go. This is what happens when we go live on stuff. We were talking with you about the Seminole Legacy Golf Course, and I think that's where we kind of got cut off. I asked this quite often to a lot of people, so I want to kind of get your take. We do a lot of work and we chat a lot with the boosters. What and obviously they have a huge push going on right now with their One Tribe campaign. Obviously, I understand what the impact of the boosters is towards the general fund and things, but what does booster support do, like specifically for your program? I always like to ask that of the different coaches we get on because I think that's important for people to hear.
Well, it means everything for our. We have a very aggressive booster club, a coaches club, whatever you call it. We have a spinoff of it called Seminole Masters, and they allow us to do a lot of things. They allow us to be out here in Scottsdale a day early to practice and to do some different things for both. Provide things for the men and women's teams that truthfully just aren't in our budgets. So when you have a women's team that's ranked in the top 10 in the country, and fortunately we are as well, there's a lot of other. You can't be done without private funds for any program in college golf.
Coach, you've had a lot of really good golfers come through Florida State during your time. You know, we talked about Brooks, Daniel Berger, who's competing this week. I'm really excited to see him with Jordan and Phil. Obviously John Pock right now. But is this the deepest lineup you've had 1 through 5, depending on who you decide to put out there?
I don't think coaches like to compare teams, but this team has a very, very good resemblance to the team that had Daniel and Brooks on it, Chase Seifert, which were 3 tour players. We have 3 All-Americans on this team with freshman Brett Roberts and then John Pack and Vincent Norman. So that's a similarity there. The other similarity is we lead the country in our throwout score, which means that when we go out and play, take 5 scores, and you throw out your highest one, where our throwout score is better than any other team's throwout score. And that was the same way when we did that in 2012. So similarities to that team. But we got to do it in the end too. Those guys were tough all year long, and they made a run toward a national championship at Riviera, and now it's these guys' job.
Yeah, and obviously John's been, one of the senior leaders for this team. I believe he's out in Dallas right now for a U.S. Open qualifier. What a wild week for him to go from that to come and compete for a national championship. Is he up to the task?
Well, win ACC championship, Walker Cup, regional, now U.S. Open qualifier, which he's currently 11th and top 10 get in. He's about to board a plane and head this way. And then a national championship, which John's been great. He's the number 1 ranked player in the country, and he deserves it. He hasn't finished out of the top 12 all year, and he's made this golf team a priority to him the entire year. So he's looking forward to getting here, and we're looking forward to going to get him at the airport here in a couple hours.
I love it. And you were talking last week in Tallahassee at Seminole Legacy about how impressed you were with how focused this team was coming off that, disappointing ACC championship, but really bounced back. How do you channel that focus for Arizona this week? And, senior leaders like Vincent Norman and John Pack have to help a lot with that.
They do. I think the only thing, one, if I have to teach intensity, and if they can't get up for this one, then they don't need to be playing golf. But it is easy for and common for the seniors to start thinking about what's next for them, because this is one of the first times in their life that the uncertainty sets in of which tour they're going to play on, what agency is going to be managing them, or which manufacturers they're going to play with in clubs and whatever else. So we just try to get them to enjoy this week and then be a professional golfer when the time comes.
Yeah, man, that's so true. And then, the last thing I have for now real quick is just this format. It can be confusing for someone who loves Florida State sports, like a lot of our listeners do, but they don't really follow college golf. I think naming an individual national champion is a pretty easy thing to do, to follow along. It's just following the scores. But can you just give a dumbed down version of what the team has to do to win a national championship when it comes to match play and going forward from there?
So you've got the 30 best golf teams in the country here, and we call them super teams this year because of COVID. You got teams like Oklahoma that have two 24-year-olds on it, and a lot of older guys. So this is what we call this is going to be adult golf out here for sure. So the top 30 teams go out, and after 3 rounds, they'll cut it to 15. And then after that 4th round, they'll cut it to 8, and that top 8 will go into match play. The individual champion will be crowned after the 4th round, the 72 holes, and then we go into the quarterfinals and semifinals. Then the final day will be the finals. So a lot of golf. You got 7 rounds in 6 days, hopefully, and we're preparing for that.
All right. And then I know this is the last thing I'll ask, because I do think it makes a big difference. Playing in Florida and playing in Arizona are kind of two totally different things when you're looking at sight lines and targets, whether it's a pine tree, a cactus, whatever it may be. How do you prepare your guys for an environment that they're not normally used to as far as just the setting of the golf course?
Well, we just can't have wandering eyes. That's why we're here now. If you look behind me, you see the beautiful mountains and practice area. And you still have to look at where you're trying to hit it and block out everything else. It doesn't matter if it's you're right. Our guys are very comfortable with looking at condominiums and lakes and sand and oceans and whatever else, and they're not used to looking at cactus. But we need to get their eyes off that anyway, and where they need to be.
Coach, we appreciate you a ton for coming on. We're super excited to have you. Hopefully we can get you on in a week or so to recap a national championship, but we're all very excited to cheer you on and check it out. When we got disconnected from you for a minute, Richie was talking about wanting to get up there, and Harlan, our producer, is I know Tracy, Tracy and Mike, Harlan's Tracy's son. So Richie's trying to pull all the strings he can to get up there and play on Labor Day weekend. So just get ready for Richie's barrage of emails that come through begging you to play.
Yeah, I mean that should be a down weekend with Notre Dame coming to town.
Richie's trying to hit up Mike Alford and me and everybody else that he has ever had a conversation with to play.
Well, real quick, Coach, I do have a question, because I know Coach Hamilton, I follow Florida State basketball religiously. I'm a huge fan, and he is really good about using big college football weekends for recruiting weekends. Is that a weekend that you're going to use for a recruiting weekend as well?
I have 5 hotel rooms already, so
love it.
Now Richie's going to try and see if he can get 4.
Can I get one of those rooms?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
if I get a cancellation, I know who to call.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Coach. Well, thank you so much. We're excited to tune in and watch you guys later this week, and best of luck, and go Noles.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. Coach Trey Jones, FSU men's golf. Super excited. I know Richie is super excited to see it. I mean, we all are, but Richie's the golf nerd for sure. So excited to see them this weekend. and like you said, hopefully play all 7 days to win in advance. Good stuff, man. I know you guys are going to talk this week on the Par 4 podcast about, not only the PGA Championship, which just happened, but also the upcoming national championships, NCAA championships in golf. So go check out the Par 4 podcast on all streaming platforms. You guys are everywhere. I set that up. So Apple Music, or iTunes podcast, all the above, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, all of them. So
I'm probably most excited to talk about this Bryson Brooks drama because it went viral. And I'm not surprised, but like there's memes, there's videos, there's everything from it right now. And last time we had Coach Jones on in November before the November Masters, I kind of asked about, hey, what's up with this Bryson Brooks feud? And he downplayed it. And today, surprisingly, he's like, yeah, he acknowledged it. Like, yeah, it's a real thing. And the golf community needs something like that, man, because that's the type of stuff that gets your casual golfers into it. And the fact that it's a Florida State guy kind of driving the whole thing, I love it.
Yeah, no, it was, like I said, that video's been fantastic. It's been really, really good. Somebody said, Harley, you can throw that on there. Bryson versus Brooks in a cage match. I'm taking Brooks. Bryson, Brooks would just tear him apart.
Well, if they went this weekend, Bryson probably gets him just because Brooks is like at 40% with that knee. But yeah, man, at full strength, hilarious. That's why. So the PGA, real quick, and I don't want to get too far off tangent, that they're not ever going to pair Bryson and Brooks because they just, for whatever, they won't. But the U.S. Open, which comes up this month in Torrey Pines, they're not affiliated with the PGA. And most people fully expect to see a Bryson and Brooks Thursday and Friday pairing. I hope that happens, and it will be phenomenal TV.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. So Coach Jones, he even said, talk about the ultimate dad joke pun. He even said, I teed that up for you. So just absolutely perfect. He was fantastic. Again, we're gonna try and stay pretty on brand, pretty relevant with pushing out this content with these Florida State coaches. We appreciate all of the ones that have come on recently. We've had a whole list. I'm not going to list them because I just don't want to leave somebody out, but really appreciate Coach Almeida coming off of a regional championship, coming on the podcast just a day later. And then Coach Jones kind of doing the same thing, just a couple of days after their regional championship.
Coach Hyde the same day they advanced. So all three of them super busy, super in the middle of, coaching their teams, and Coach Hyde's taking a call from the car, and Coach Jones is taking it from the golf course, which is a great place to take a call from. And then Coach Lonnie last night, they had an event last night, and she was doing the interview with us beforehand. So awesome. Obviously, we're cheering those teams on. Softball this weekend. If you didn't listen to Coach Almeida's interview, go back and check it out on wherever you're watching this or listening to this. You can go find it. And then, our regular podcast dropped on Sunday, in which we talked about a little more football, some softball, some baseball, different things going on. We talked with Harlan about this. Hopefully we have Meat on here on Sunday night or Monday morning to recap an ACC championship. He dropped a preview today. If you're still watching, go check out Double Fries No Slaw. He dropped a preview of the ACC tournament, the pod play, which is stupid by the ACC, but some good details on how that works. So go check out his preview of the ACC tournament. And then a couple other things dropped. I believe a recap of Sunday's podcast. I'll do a quick one that recaps kind of this and Coach Almeida's. But go check out doublefriesnoslaw.com. Obviously, if you're watching this, follow us on social media if you're not already. We appreciate the support, the comments, the interaction on social media. And like I said, I don't think we're doing another one of these before Sunday, but we'll see how things go, man. We'll see who does what, when, and where. So if I don't know. We'll see. If we beat Miami on Friday to go 2-0, we might have to get them on Friday night. So we'll see what's going on. Richie, any shout outs before we get out of here? Yeah, just shout out. He might be fired by right now, but shout out the guy that leaked that Brooks Koepka interview because nobody in the PGA or NBC or the Golf Channel probably wanted that to get out. Some people in the Golf Channel probably did. But that was not an intentional leak, and it just made my morning. Like all the memes and videos and everything hilarious. So shout out to that production intern who's probably looking for a new job now.
Yeah, if you need a job, I will fire our producer. If you need, we don't pay anything, but I will fire our producer.
We'll get you a nice T-shirt, maybe a hat.
Actually, maybe he's not the guy we want. I don't need the stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
getting out. So maybe, yeah, you're safe, Harlan. Harlan, you got any shout outs or anything? Are you good? You all set? All right. I don't know that I have any shout outs either. Shout out FSU baseball. I wore my Lucky Jameis T-shirt.
There we go.
Because they play tomorrow. So beat Duke and try and advance out of this pod play. So I had a great song last night, Richie. I was talking with Kara. We were playing LSU. I played Call in Baton Rouge from Garth Brooks. Fantastic song choice. It's on you tonight.
All right. I will text you, and the listeners will be surprised. The live ones, at least, the people listening, in podcast form tomorrow, they won't be as surprised because they'll hear it instantly. But I'm thinking some sort of Golf Arizona song. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do there.
I've never heard of a Golf Arizona song. I might
for Arizona, not golf and Arizona.
Oh, I was like, that's very specific.
Yeah, that'd be difficult to do.
Golf and Arizona in college and podcasts. All right, cool. Well, everyone listening, not live, I'm sure you have bated breath. To hear this, you'll hear it in about 15 seconds. So until next time, we'll see you guys on Sunday night, unless something crazy happens before then. But we'll see you guys soon, and go Noles.